Derek, what's this year been like for you so far?
It's been fun. It's been fun for me to be back on the field. Missing all of last year, you realize how much you miss competing and playing the game. The way the fans have treated me, both at home and on the road, has been something that's overwhelming, I guess, to say the least. But it's been fun, but at the same time, we're trying to win games. So in that sense, it's been the same.
When you hear fans standing up, giving you standing ovations in opposing ballparks, what does that mean to you?
Up until this point, that's the thing that I'll remember the most about this year is the way the fans in opposing stadiums have treated me. I mean, especially some of the places I'm used to getting booed in. They've always been respectful, but obviously they're cheering for their teams, and this year has been completely different.
Did the All-Star game feel any different this year?
Yeah, it's the All-Star games have always been fun. This one being the last one, I had an opportunity. I was happy that I had an opportunity to go, and once again, the treatment from not only the fans but the players on, American League side and National League side as well. It's just been this year. It's just been one to remember, and hopefully we have a few more memories yet to come.
How personally satisfying is it that you've played in this market and you've been able to carry yourself well for so long?
Well, I am who I am. I always get a kick out of when people say, oh, he's worried about his image. You know what I mean? If I was worried about a so-called image, I think people would have figured that out a long time ago. I am who I am. I try to be the same every day. And, I've been fortunate to, not too many people have an opportunity to play this long for one particular team, let alone New York. So it's more than a dream come true for me.
How proud do you think your parents are of that aspect of things?
I hope they're proud. They've been supportive through the good times, more importantly through the bad times. When things are on your mind, when you're struggling, they're the first people that I called. So I wouldn't have been able to last this long without them.
Talk about the length of the career. You obviously had the ankle injury a season ago, a little bit of a shoulder issue, but aside from that, you've been extremely durable. How do you think you've been able to do that?
When I talk to people, they assume when you have a game, you show up at 6:30, you jump rope, and then you go out there and play. But I work extremely hard, and not only during the season, but the off season as well. I hate excuses. I don't want to hear them. I don't make them. In my opinion, you either play or you don't. And if you play, no one wants to hear about what's bothering you. But I've taken a lot of pride in going out there every day and doing my job.
You had an incredible support system at home, but you also had some incredible teammates along the way. What made the core force so special?
We all had the same mindset, and we had that mindset from the minor leagues coming up, and we enjoyed winning. We were spoiled early on, but we worked extremely hard. None of us made excuses.
Do you think you would have been as successful as you are if it weren't for the support system and those guys?
I wouldn't have been successful without the support system of a lot of people. There are a few of them. You mentioned my parents. There's been managers, there's been coaches. I think everyone needs a good support group. So I've been blessed to have a lot of great people around me.
Tell me about the managers, Joe Torre, Joe Girardi. What did you learn from each of those guys?
Mr. T, he gave me an opportunity. He's a great people person. He was very good at dealing with different personalities, and I learned a lot from him in terms of how you treat people. You hear you treat everyone the same. Well, that's not true. I think you treat everyone fairly, but there's different personalities. So that's a big lesson that I learned from him. Joe, I played with, so it's been fun to play for him. It'd be kind of awkward if he had to discipline me because he's a former teammate, but I try to stay out of trouble, so that hasn't happened yet.
You've had some big moments, some big hits. Is there anything that stands out for you?
I can't sit here and say there's one particular memory that stands out more than the other. Ever since my first game in Seattle, it's just been a lot of memories here. I've been spoiled and fortunate when it comes to being a part of a lot of special moments.
I had a feeling you'd say that, and I know you're a guy that's always about the present, but will you take a little trip down memory lane with me?
Yeah, sure. We'll try.
All right, just tell me what comes to mind when you see this picture.
It's a long time ago. That's what comes to mind. I don't know when it was, but it's a long time ago.
It was 1995.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So yeah, first year. I was 20 years old, and it's almost like I can't believe you're here.
All right, here you go.
He should have jumped. You know, Tony played here for us, and everyone keeps talking about, well, it wasn't a home run, it wasn't a home run. He should have jumped.
This is one that so many people talk about.
Yeah, playing Oakland, Jorge did a great job of applying the tag, but yeah, it was a big moment in that 5-game series for us, and yeah, it's a play I think that people talk the most about.
You still contend that you were supposed to be there?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be there. I'm not supposed to throw it home, but I'm supposed to be there. Was this afterwards? I think it was afterwards.
That was after midnight, after you came
yeah,
up with that big home run.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there had been no games in November until afterwards, and everyone was talking about it. So yeah, anytime you have a positive nickname, I guess is good.
And I have to imagine you're not looking at the clock at that point in time.
No,
You don't
actually,
realize.
I was really. Well, not at the moment. I remember before I went up to the plate, you know, Mr. T's contract was up, and it expired on October 31st. And he used to hold my bat, and I told him when I got my bat from him, this is the last time I have to listen to you because after midnight, you're no longer employed by the Yankees. So then I hit the home run. So I knew it was we were roughly in that area.
This one, July 1st, 2004.
Yeah, you know, the catch wasn't difficult. It was just the aftermath. You know, I knew I had fallen into that photographer's pit a couple years earlier, I believe, and I didn't feel too good, so I thought I'd just jump over it and everything would be fine. But I jumped into the one seat no one was sitting.
July 9th, 2011.
I was surprised to learn maybe 5-6 years before that no Yankee had 3,000 hits, and then have an opportunity to hit a home run, and then Jorge was the first one there, and Mo was right behind him. So it was great. I think they were just as happy as I was. So it's a special day at Yankee Stadium for me.
This season, you've had some pretty special moments historically. 6th on the all-time hit list. When I say that, what comes to mind for you?
It's hard to believe. You know, it's really hard to believe passing Honus Wagner because, you know, they had mentioned to me that now no one above me has even played an inning at shortstop. So to have more hits than anyone that's ever played the position that's something that's, when it's said and done, I'll be very satisfied with.
Any regrets?
No regrets, because, you know, even the mistakes you made, I think, or the mistakes you make, I think help shape who you are, so I don't have any.
Are you taken aback at all when you hear somebody wears number 2 because of you?
Yeah, it makes you feel good, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to believe because in my mind, you know, everyone keeps saying, oh, you're 40 years old, or you've been around for a long time, but in my mind, I'm still young. I mean, right? Don't know, people think that they're still young.
You're
I
young
still
in
think
real
I'm
life,
young.
too.
Thank you.
In
Yeah, thank
baseball
you.
life, maybe.
Yeah, it's just people make you seem like you're dying because you're 40. So, yeah, it's a little difficult. Well, not difficult. It's just I still view myself as being young. So at the same time, you appreciate it, but it's still hard to believe.